Hey guys, it's me again, Caitlin, if you are new to my channel, and I am in Colorado right now, and that's pretty exciting. It's been really fun. It is well into June, and I noticed that I have not made my June video for my goal, so I needed to do that. And so this is my first June video where I'm going to talk about what I am wanting to do. If you don't know what my goals are and what this is, I am doing a project before I turn 25 where I focus on a goal a month. And it's just things that I would like to achieve or work on before I turn 25. And you can check out my other videos, and I can leave a link in the description for my first video so you can kind of check that out and what I am doing. So last month I focused on health, and it might not have been the most successful month, but it made me a lot more aware of what I'm putting into my body and also more aware of how I feel after I eat or after I exercise. So I think it was actually more successful in that way than actually helping me lose weight. But with all of these goals, it is not just focusing on that goal for 1 month and being done with it, it's adding on to it. So I'm still going to be incorporating what I've learned last month and building on that. But this month is a new month, so that means a new goal. So for June, I am focusing on relationships. That means that I'm going to be working on relationships and making more of an effort in that area of my life and being more intentional with my relationships and who I'm spending time with and people that I want to be spending more time with, but I haven't been making that effort, and so on. I think that relationships are really an important part in our daily lives. I am personally an introvert mostly, and I call myself an introvert with extrovert tendencies. So that means that I like to be alone, and I like to get away from people a lot and spend time in my room, and I really need that space away from people to kind of recharge every day. But there are times when I like to go out, I like to spend time with people, go out for dinner or go on walks or little outings or something, and I have those extrovert moments where I really like to be around people. But for most of the time, I'm by myself or with my dog, and I'm okay with that. But I noticed that a lot of people in my life that I used to be around a lot, especially when I was in school, and I don't see them now every day, or I don't see them as often, now those relationships have kind of dwindled, and that makes me really sad, which is why I'm making relationships a goal for the month of June. And what that is going to be looking like is me being more intentional and setting aside a time for the people in my life that I want to make time for. People like my family. I think that we take advantage of our family because they're just always there, and we don't realize how special those relationships are, and that we still actually need to work on those relationships and make an effort when it comes to those relationships because they're like any other relationships. So I'll be spending more time with my family, which is one reason why I'm in Colorado right now. I'm making a little road trip, and right now I'm with my grandparents, and I don't get to see them that often, which is why I wanted to come and visit them and take some time out of my life to spend time with them and to strengthen that relationship, especially since I don't get to see them as often. Then I'll also be spending more time with other family members, and I was doing this a lot last month as well because I just wanted to work on it right away. And when I would get those urges to maybe go see my sister or see my niece and nephew, I would actually then go and do it instead of talking myself out of it. Or when I thought, hey, I haven't seen this person in a long time, I would take the time to send a message to them or call them and just do those little things to say, hey, I'm here. If you'd like to spend time together, let me know. And then there's some times where I think that sending a message like on Facebook or sending a text might not be enough. And it's nice to maybe call somebody or Skype with them or FaceTime, because then you're able to still kind of have that face-to-face interaction. But I also did a little something, blame Target actually, and their dollar section. I got all of these little note cards that are really cute and decorated, and they come in like packages of 8, and they're for $1. And I got a lot of them, probably more than I needed, because I thought that'd be such a great idea to start sending notes to people and cards to people, just saying, hey, I'm thinking about you, I hope life is well, and to make that effort in that relationship. And it's kind of scary doing that because it's actually really vulnerable, and making that first step in a relationship that might not be very strong. But I'm really trying to do that. This is what the month is about, is me being vulnerable and taking those risks where I might send a card to somebody and they might not send one back, or they might not get in touch with me. And that's okay, because I think that is a big part of relationships, is sometimes you take that step and risk yourself and you be vulnerable with somebody, and sometimes they don't reciprocate that, whether it be a friendship or more than that. With this being said, I'm not trying to go and have this huge group of friends and build a huge friend base, because I think that sometimes it's more important to have a small group of friends and know that they are always there for you and that they will support you. And I know that I have that because I have a couple of really close friends that are so dear to me, and I love them all so much. But there are also some people that I just haven't talked to in a while, and I still really care about them, but because I haven't made the effort and the other person hasn't made the effort, again, the relationship just kind of fades away. And I think that's so sad when we let that happen with people. When there's nothing really big that happens, there isn't an argument or a reason, but it's just because neither person is doing anything about it. So I'm trying to do something about those relationships. And the reason that I'm in Colorado is actually I'm on my way to a friend's wedding in Wisconsin. And I could have just gotten a plane ticket, flown out there, and been there for the weekend and then flown home. But I noticed that there are quite a few people that live in the Midwest that I haven't seen for a while. And I decided to make a road trip out of it so I could visit people and stay with them. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm from California, so I left California, and my first stop was in Colorado with my grandparents, and then I'll be going on to other stops and seeing people and visiting them. And it was actually kind of intimidating doing this because I had to go and message people and say, would it be okay if I stay with you during this time? And they could have said no, but everybody was so kind. And I think when there's those times when we have to be vulnerable, we kind of talk ourselves out of it before we do it. We say, oh, they're not going to let me stay, or they're not going to want to talk to me. But in my experience, whenever I have asked somebody for something, most times they say yes, and they will do anything and go out of their way for me. And I think that is just the coolest thing. So I'll be staying with people along the way and on the way home. And actually, my dad is going to be flying out and meeting me in Wisconsin to go to the wedding. And that's another relationship I'm going to be working on, is with my dad. We're going to be driving home together from Wisconsin and making stops along the way and going camping. So we're having kind of a father-daughter trip. And I'm really excited for it, and I'm excited for this whole month. I'm actually going to be gone for the whole month of June, which is kind of crazy. And I don't really know how this month is going to look with videos, but I'm going to try my best to make time for them because I don't want this little project to die away. Again, it's all about being intentional about what we want and who we want to be with. And there are also times, though, with relationships where you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to say, maybe this relationship isn't good for me, and you have to be honest and say goodbye. So I'm going to also try to be very I'm going to try to reflect on my relationships and who I have in my life, and if there are any of those relationships that aren't good. I think one way of doing this is simply going on Facebook and looking at your friend list and saying, do I actually talk to these people? Or do the things that they post, do they bring me joy? Or are there things that I just don't want to see? Or maybe they have views that you don't agree with, or sometimes they post things that are angry or hurtful, and you don't want that to be in your life. And a great way to get rid of that is just to seriously delete them off Facebook. Because why do you want that in your life? Facebook used to be this thing where having a ton of friends was a big deal, and I thought that too. And then I realized most of the people on here, I don't really think they care about me. And so I went through and deleted quite a few people. I haven't done that for a long time, so I think I need to do it again, and really be honest with myself and say, nope, I think you're going to be gone from my life. And that's okay. That's another thing with relationships, is sometimes you want to make relationships stronger, but other times you need to say goodbye to somebody. And that's all a part of living, because you change, other people change, and you just have to do that. So that was kind of a long-winded story of what I'm doing for the month of June. I hope that you join me for this month, and you also are more intentional with the people around you and the people that you sometimes take for granted, and you make more of an effort in those relationships that you want to make stronger, and that you're also honest with yourself with some relationships that you shouldn't have in your life anymore. And I truly believe that we are made to have relationships and to be in relationships with people, even if you are an introvert or an extrovert or whatever you think you are. We still should have people around us, and we always need to put in work into those relationships, or they do die away. But I hope and I think that is going to be a wonderful learning experience, and it's going to bring me a lot closer to a lot of people. I hope that you join me on it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.